This is a stalemate. Nobody's going to talk today.
Arr, arr, arr.
We review one comic with dogs in it, and that's how you start.
Arr, arr, arr. Now my dog's going to start to bark because I'm.
You
barking.
didn't do that when we reviewed Scooby-Doo.
No, I didn't, because Scooby-Doo goes.
How do you know these dogs in this comic all talk? Like, I mean, it does say they make barky noises when they talk, but
I imagine
don't know
when
that
these dogs talk,
whatever noise
they're
you
like,
made,
they're like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? I'm a dog. Look at you. Watch me do a dog thing."
Wow, that's.
That's how I imagine these dogs, because
that's not how I remember reading the book, but it could be what's happening. I guess it doesn't seem what happened in the comic.
Oh, I don't like you, Mr. Rawr. There, that was pretty close.
All right, well,
no,
we're here.
That's how I imagine my own dogs when I imagine my dogs talking. Oh, hey, Mr. Rawr.
I mean, should we tell people why we're here and what we're talking about? This is Funny Book Forensics.
Oh my gosh. I thought we were just talking
about comic books.
Yeah.
I mean, we usually do. I thought I might change it up for once and maybe start out the episode by mentioning that this is actually a podcast about comic books that we do. And this one's about dogs or something.
Yeah. Dogs.
We're taking a little break from the drug issues for a minute.
I know. Rehabbing it up.
We survived the Teen Titans. We're going to talk about Iron Man, or have talked about Iron Man, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Yeah.
But we're taking a little break from those. Yep. And we're going to talk about drug manufacturers.
Exactly. Because why not?
Why not? I mean, it seems to fit. Well, I got these books on Kickstarter and just got around to reading the third one. And they're called Alpha Dogs. And I really like them.
Alpha Dogs?
Spoiler, I like them. I like them enough to want to talk about them.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
is that okay?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Dan, you do what you want to do. This is going to be a Dan episode, everybody. I am not going to talk. All right. Bye, guys.
I think that's a terrible idea, since I don't have a lot of history to draw from on this one. So I'm probably going to need you to talk about like story layout, plot, movement, things like that. The things that you do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I suppose.
I did just get a $47 royalty check for my writing from 2008.
Well, that is good. I applaud you.
I believe my first royalty checks were like $0.25, $1, $2. I'm not sure why somebody's buying an old book about debate in 2022.
Maybe,
so I get paid, but cool.
Maybe they're excited about it and they want to learn. And you know what that means? That means you said how much did you make?
Like $47.
Dang, awesome. Man. You can go down to Little Caesars and you can get yourself 1, 2, 3, 4
that will never happen. So you can just stop this fantasy right now.
A couple of 2 liters. I measure my royalty checks in Little Caesars that I can't eat. So I'm like, I just find it humorous because
nobody should eat Little Caesars. That's just factual.
Whoa. Okay, fine.
Well, anyway, Alpha Dogs.
Yeah, Alpha Dogs. Yeah.
You're really killing me on this right now. So anyway, Kickstarter book, Alpha Dogs.
Yep.
And we've got a hurt puppy on the cover, and I don't like that.
Wait. Oh, yeah, because there's
bullet holes in him, Greg.
Yeah, there's bullet holes into a
or
dog.
Something.
But there's another dog. There's a bunch of other dogs behind that dog, and then there's like
this is kind of like when Scrappy-Doo was hunting down Scooby-Doo in Scooby-Doo Apocalypse.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. This dog
kind of scary.
And this dog kind of looks like Kratos.
Kind of does.
Yeah. This dog is the dog of war. See what I did there? I'm dyslexic.
I've got a pouty dog behind me. She's sitting by the door trying to figure out why she can't leave the room.
Because your dog's not an alpha.
No, she's really not. She hides from everything. She would not do well in this environment. Well, let's get to page 1, shall we?
Who did Alpha Dogs?
Well, I was going to say it's at the bottom of page 1. So I was going to say, here's a Karen on page 1.
Oh, yeah. Karen.
Calling from her car saying there's a polar bear on the beach or a pit bull. Or an albino bear or a pit bull.
Albino bear.
And she's scared. She said, come get it. It's big enough to eat a horse, but it's dead. or asleep. She can't tell. She must not be very good at seeing, since like on the next page, the dog there's blood everywhere and bullet holes in the dog. So
Yeah.
I don't know if she's very good at seeing.
No, not.
Maybe it's really dark. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she's being a good Samaritan.
Maybe.
Well, this book is written by John Dexter, illustrated by Fernando Melek, colored by Ezequiel Dominguez, lettered by Lucas Urrutia. I'm sorry, Lucas. I tried. I thought I had most of the other names. I probably messed up Fernando's name too, but in classic funny book forensics fashion, we're going to mess up the names. Alpha Dogs was created, however, by John Dexter. And we maybe insta-stalked John Dexter and saw that this book is based on his adorable white pit bull.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure if you listen to podcasts or something with John Dexter, you'd find out. But we're not here to pump up John Dexter's past appearances. No, we're here to talk about the first 3 issues of Alpha Dogs in classic funny book forensics fashion.
Yes, of course.
And we've got a dog. We've got a dog on the beach, and he's been shot, and he looks not alive, and it's really sad. His little face is looking down in the sand. And you've got a caption just noting that it had to be a pit bull. And our first scene is an animal control agent coming out to follow up on this good, wonderful citizen's report and checking out the dog. And he's kind of joking around saying, looks like you chased the wrong jogger.
Yeah.
I wonder what it's like to be an animal control officer. This must be one of the most depressing jobs in the universe.
To go out on calls like this where you got to go and find and retrieve deceased animals,
dead animals.
I mean, I have a friend that is one, and there's a lot of upsides to things that they say that they've witnessed, but then there's also these types of things which can probably be super depressing. So I'm pretty sure they take the good with the bad. You know, they take the rescues and those things.
Well, here's a positive side of it. It looks like the dog's breathing, so
he's alive.
Yeah. And the control agent heads off, and there's the dog, and bullets are flying out of him. This is like Wolverine style level stuff here.
Bloop, bloop. Yeah.
I believe I've seen that in a Wolverine comic before.
Yeah. Where Wolverine just shoots bullets that have been shot into him just right back out. Blap.
Yeah, it's interesting. And, there's a big history of super dogs, as you're aware. I'm kind of a big fan of one.
Scooby-Doo. Yeah. I know.
No, Crypto.
Deputy Dog.
Do you know Crypto was created by Otto Binder?
No, I didn't.
Did you know Legion of Superheroes was created by Otto Binder?
I did not.
Did you know Otto Binder wrote half of the Captain Marvel comic books? So like over half of them. He wrote like 963 Captain Marvel comic books for Fawcett Comics before coming to DC.
That is a lot.
He co-created Supergirl. He created Crypto with Kurt Swan. He created the Legion of Superheroes. He's done a few things. Super dogs have a big history in comics.
Yeah.
And this is an interesting start. The dog's up and thinking in our language. Where are the others?
Mm-hmm.
I need to find them before the monster does. So I'm intrigued. It looks like we have a mystery.
A mystery.
Maybe.
4 months earlier.
For time. Okay, we're 4 months earlier. Okay. I guess we're going to find out what happened.
That is what we're going to find out, because 4 months earlier, this same dog was sitting in a door.
This dog's adorable. Well, let's face it.
Adorable.
What were you saying about his eye mark?
Oh, it looks face like marking. Looks like Kratos. It's the dog of war instead of the god of war.
I think the art on this page is adorable.
Yeah, I mean, got a butterfly landing on a dog's nose. I mean, it's a sweet thing.
Well, and he's pawing at the door to let it in too. He's looking at it, and he's waiting for Ina. Ina or Ina, we should probably settle on
Ina.
I'm going to go with Ina because I'm going to forget. You're going to go with Ina. Okay, perfect.
Ina.
So,
Ina.
We'll divide it up.
Ina. I don't know.
But we've got a pup, and we've got some captions up the top. Ina Buck's owner spent years on the run from those who wished to steal her incredible dogs. Okay, this makes sense. So they're out at a farmhouse somewhere. You know who else grew up in a farmhouse?
Crypto.
How'd you know?
I had a feeling because Crypto is Superman's dog.
You know who didn't grow up in a farmhouse?
Who?
Ace the Bat Hound.
Ace the Bat Hound.
Did not grow up in a farmhouse.
Grew up in a mansion or a
Scooby-Doo did not grow up in a farmhouse, but
No.
Crypto grew up in a farmhouse because he's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
Well, we have another dog come in, and he's kind of making fun of Buck. He's like, "Where's your pride? You're just like standing there waiting for somebody."
Yeah.
And they're chatting, and we've got these dogs, and we get a little caption that the dogs communicate with one another in their own language. To human ears, the dogs' conversations sound like some Neanderthal dialect barks and howls. That sounds kind of terrifying coming from a pit bull.
Yeah.
Or a couple pit bulls.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would enjoy that if some pit bulls were standing there making these big Neanderthal howls.
And you're sitting there like, what's your intention?
Yeah. and they're like, we don't know what those guys, we know what those guys are talking about, and we're just having a casual conversation. What's your problem, humans? Like, we're just chilling out.
We're just chilling.
I could see, and the dogs are having a little chat, and basically we've got the older dog kind of chewing out Buck for being satisfied with his life, and Buck's asking why he keeps secrets, and now he's excited because Ina's home and somebody's following her, and he is freaking the F out because he's been told by Ina that nobody's allowed in their house.
Nobody comes to our house.
But then we find out that Ina has met a friend named Salem, and they used to work together at Next Gen, and they did cancer research. Okay, that seems nice.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, cancer researchers, probably nice people, I would think.
You would think, yeah.
I mean, trying to cure terrible disease, so okay. And then Buck's trying to talk, barking out, why is he here? And she calls out Buck and Cyrus, that's the other pup's name. Mm-hmm. And they come out, and she's telling them that she loves this guy. Uh-oh.
Yeah. It's going to go downhill from there.
I saw this in the League of Super Pets when Clark told Crypto that he loved Lois, and it didn't go well for the rest of the movie until the end. No. And then everybody loved each other again.
Oh, well, that's good. That was a happy ending.
I can't believe you haven't seen the League of Super Pets.
Nope, I haven't.
Because you don't have HBO. We discussed this earlier.
We just discussed it. Yeah, so
you're missing out. You're missing out on classics like Black Adam.
Yeah.
League of Super Pets.
Yeah.
Basically, every DC movie The Rock's going to be in until the end of time. After Black Adam, I'm not sure that he'll be any more DC movies, but
I know. I was just going to say, didn't he just leave?
I don't know. I liked it. I mean, it was fine. Otto Binder also created Black Adam.
Oh, well.
Fun fact. I saw that. And Mary Marvel.
Oh, okay.
And Uncle Marvel.
Uncle Marvel.
But Taki Tani, he created the tiger. He co-created the tiger.
Oh.
So there's that.
There's that.
I probably should stop talking about Otto Binder.
Yeah.
Because I could talk about Otto Binder all day and maybe get back into the comic.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Dan.
Yeah, we've got a couple scenes here, and we're going to cover 3 of these tonight, so I may not just go word for word, but Ina's trying to get Salem into the house and their friends, and the dogs are really not liking this too much.
Yeah, I think they're a little put off by it because, well, I mean, like Buck, he's been told nobody comes to the house. Cyrus is kind of like, he doesn't trust people, it seems like.
But Cyrus is the veteran of the two and is a little bit wiser, I would say. And so Ina steps away, and Salem wants to get to know Cyrus. And they're talking, and he says, "Little Bill told me to tell you no hard feelings." And Cyrus is like, "He's alive." So who's Little Bill? I'm not sure, but Little Bill is the one who brought me to you. Well, to Ina, you might say. He told me about what happened to your owner, your true owner. And I admire you, Cyrus, sacrifices you've made to protect Ina and Buck, but they don't need you anymore, and you certainly don't need them. So he's trying to sell Cyrus on something here. And he's trying to sweet talk Cyrus into taking his blood. Yeah. And Cyrus is just assesses his situation and just says, "Fine, take it." But that's when Buck walks back in and freaks the F out. This is not cool. And Buck's smelling his blood, and Cyrus is saying, "Go away." And Ina comes back out to all the barking because, needless to say, I imagine if the dogs think they're hurting each other, they're going to bark up. And Salem tries to become friends with Buck, which I don't know if Neanderthal growls would necessitate me holding a hand out to a dog who's growling at me, but nobody said this character was smart. But he is a cancer researcher, so I would assume so.
What's odd is like what's throwing me off is that he has a conversation with Cyrus and is not able to have a conversation with Buck, or Buck doesn't want to talk to him, and then Buck just goes buck wild on him.
Yeah, I think it's more Buck doesn't want to talk to him, right?
Yeah,
and Buck's angry. So
yeah.
And we did see Buck in the first couple scenes, like have bullets pop out of him. So he's got something going on. Yeah. And Cyrus apparently has something going on too. And they has a history with somebody else, assuming Little Bill is a dog.
I don't know. Yeah.
Unless he brought a human. I don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
So
we don't know.
That's the fun. So we've got Salem's fingers get bit off. Ow.
Yeah. I mean, pit bulls can do that.
Yeah, as things happen, but they
look like Vienna sausages, and she's grabbing them up.
seemed like a strong reaction. Ina reacts very strongly. She's screaming at Buck, and they go get the fingers, and Cyrus just ends the whole thing with, "You stupid boy, you've just made things worse for yourself." So we go 4 weeks later, and there is a guy with a skullet.
Yeah,
sleeping on a couch. And he has some friends wake him up.
Yeah.
And somebody comes into his rescue and tells him to take their hands off the turd, some guy in a green shirt.
Yeah.
And then we have a full-on professional wrestling fight, chairs and everything.
Oh, yeah, dude. Chairs.
A TV.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Also, it's interesting. So the guy with the green shirt grabs the little guy and takes him back in to see a big dog named Monto, who's apparently guarding an elevator. And they ask where Salem is, and Monto goes and calls the elevator. So he's also apparently a smart dog.
Yeah.
And Salem's talking, and Salem's missing a couple fingers.
Yeah. It's been stitched up.
It looks like there's a blood match for Monto, and maybe that's where Cyrus's blood went, because Salem seems pretty happy about this blood match. And we end on this note, continued in issue number 2, Small Sacrifices. And I was like, wow, when this first came out, I read this first issue and I got it from Kickstarter, and I was like, whoa, okay, when's the next one coming? Because I was like, but how do you feel about the story so far? We looked at one issue.
I liked it. I thought like you said, it very much takes you on a journey, makes you want to pick up the next one. I'm glad that the next one was available to read, because it gives you this really good build up to a very interesting story about these very smart dogs that obviously have other things going for them, some sort of healing factor and resilience and other things, and wanting to know a little bit more about them. If anybody's ever, for me, it's like, I like Kuntz books, and so Watcher has that feeling of like, oh, there's a smart dog and there's a monster. Are they talking about that? Is that what's going to happen? I don't know. That's just me.
I don't know. I thought it was a good setup for a mystery. We've set up some characters.
Yeah.
I care about the dog.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going to happen. And we get issue 2. You don't have to wait, because it's right here.
It's right here.
And it looks like we have this cover. There was a couple of covers, but this cover has Puppy Buck running up the stairs.
Puppy Buck.
Away from some guys with guns. And he looks really scared. He looks like my dog does when she hears fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like that. He's really scared. And we get Alpha Dogs number 2, written by John Dexter, breakdowns by Lucas Urrutia, illustrated again by Fernando Melek, Lucas Orueta on colors, and lettered by Lucas Urrutia. And I'm sorry, Lucases. I know I messed up your names, but I'm trying. There's one too many Lucases. Actually, there's plenty of Lucases, because I thought this was a fun book. So.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good.
And we get on to page 1, and we are in a junkyard.
Yes.
He's like, what's Salem's game anyway? Meth, dope, nothing like that. But he's going to let us be part of his crew. It's like, okay, we're getting a crew together.
Yeah, we're getting a crew together. we're gonna be part of the crew. Oh, that makes Salem the alpha dog.
Yeah, and he says, I hear you boys have been asking around about me. They say they're a friend of Toby's, and this sounds bad so far. And they want to join. They're kind of demanding to join his crew.
Yeah.
But their friend wasn't supposed to talk about it, and they're about to get introduced to Monto. It doesn't seem like it's going to go well. I mean, if you wanted to be part of a crew, would you want to get driven to a junkyard with the person and their dogs?
No, because you don't know what's gonna what that's gonna entail.
I mean, it seems like poor strategy, right? But on the henchman's part, right? But
yeah.
Okay. Well, Monto is not really impressed with them either. And he says, I am Monto and you are my prey. And that is a terrifying looking dog when he's all muscled up like that.
Yeah, he looks like he's been eating those keto snacks, you know? So like and taking that muscle milk, and it's just yeah.
He looks like the cows that are bred just to look like muscles.
Oh yeah. Just a big muscly cow. I swear though, I saw like a dog that was just like, I thought it was like a big monster of a dog, but it was like a young dog that is just like genetically like whatever. So yeah, their dogs are just they can be very.
Well, Salem says destroy them, Monto, and is this like Chopper sick balls right now?
Yeah, kind of. Chomper sick balls.
Another infamous movie dog.
Yeah, infamous movie dog.
Except this is not Chopper, and this isn't going to go well for these two guys.
No, not at all. Get us out of here!
Yeah, they try to take a car, and Monto like flips the car over.
Yeah, he just like boom flips it.
That's and my car. Yeah, Skullet's worried about his car. Yeah, this is not going so well. It's a bad day. And then he's like, Akeem, crush the car after Monto takes out the adversaries.
He eats them inside the car. That's like, car dining. It's like
car dining, car side meal.
Side meal.
In car dining. There we go. You're right. You were right the first time.
Yeah.
I messed
just
it up.
Go into what's the I can't remember. I can't think of the Sonics. Yeah, there you go. In car dining.
Yeah. Well, we get to the evil master plan. We find out that Salem is pissed about the fingers and he's going to take all of the dog's blood because he knows it works now.
He's a vampire.
That art is pretty cool with him sort of standing over like the eyes and then sort of the like shadowy thing in the background.
Yeah.
I like that.
You like that?
I don't know. What do you think?
No, that's good.
How do you like the panel movement so far as we get into Sleepy Buck?
Sleepy Buck, it's good. Although, like, it's good. I'm gonna say
it's like the most half-hearted good you've ever given.
Well,
on a
no,
comment. Well,
it's good. This is where,
maybe I don't know.
This is where some direction for the reader
would be helpful.
Although I know this is a dream sequence, but also a flashback sequence. It is difficult to follow in the sense.
Okay. Yeah. So Buck's dreaming about his past, but it's difficult to follow because it flips from Big Buck to Little Buck.
Big Buck to Little Buck. All these things are, there's so many similarities to things that are happening in real time versus what is happening in the past to, from the beginning of the story. So it's like, okay, well, are we tracking? Are we not tracking?
Okay, I got you. Yeah, because she's running with the gun. Ina specifically is running with a gun, grabbing Puppy Buck. Mm-hmm. And I guess the only difference is it's Puppy Buck, right? Yeah, I get what you're saying. This could be happening in real time where we've got these guys chasing her after we just got told somebody was going to go take her dogs. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
So, I mean, from I just know, like, I've gotten notes from editors before where although this technique is good, it makes it difficult for readers sometimes because it's a lot of tracking action for someone, and if you don't specifically sometimes point out when the wins are or or how these things are happening, some people might get pulled out of the story, and it makes it difficult because I know
that's fair
to track. And I know that this, I mean, we're going to be following this for a majority of the rest of the book at this point. So it definitely makes it difficult.
I will say, the Winchester House stair drawings are incredible.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely like, I like how all that, the apartment running, the staircases go and everything.
Actually, I think it's really cool. Like, it's like a movie chase scene in comic book form. And, well, we basically have it where Ina corners them, sort of. And then we got guns pointed at each other.
You're not taking my dog!
Yeah. And then Cyrus comes out and takes out one of the big dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I guess he falls down the stairwell.
Yeah.
And then off panel, he takes out another guy. And then we've got
Ina taking out a couple guys.
Yeah, we got the other guys trying to shoot Cyrus, and Ina takes out one, and the other guy's like, I give up. And she's like, Cyrus, don't hurt him. And Cyrus is having none of this. She wants Cyrus. It's interesting because I do think it's a good contrast to the other part of the story. Mm-hmm. Cyrus is lecturing Buck about being overprotected, but now we get Cyrus is the one that's overprotected. I don't say overprotected, but protecting the puppy and protecting Ina.
Yeah.
So, and we just get he won't give up until he learns how your dogs got their powers. So it's interesting. So we don't know who the he is. We're continuing the mystery. I will say one more clue as we get out of the flashback. You are right with the action sequence, but the hair is different on Ina.
Yeah, the hair is
the pup's bigger.
Yeah. It's just, I think it's just one of those things where it's like it either really works or it kind of works, and I think it kind of works. So that's my note.
The contrast is good in this
for me. So
I do like the contrast at the end of the scene, though, is how she's got the puppy up against her face, and then Buck tries to go lay down with her, and she's like, "Yeah, no."
Yeah. She's like not having it. I also like, I really want to know this at this point. It really makes me want to know how long has she had these dogs for? I mean,
that's a good point.
She's had Bucky Boy for a little, like ever since she's a puppy. But how long has she had Cyrus? And did Cyrus and Bucky come as a pair?
No, well, Cyrus came from somebody else. We got that as other part of the mystery.
Yeah,
you'll recall, because the original owner was referenced.
Yeah, but did she like take them both, or did Cyrus bring this little pup scamp with him?
Yeah, well, she's still
I know. We'll get there.
Smitten over Salem, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
And oh man, she runs off to see Salem, and Buck said, I'd always be your boy. That's
be your boy.
Making me sad.
Yeah,
I kind of got sad during the League of Super Pets too when that happened. So. What if I cried during the League of Super Pets? Are you going to make fun of me?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I cried during the Water Boy, so it's okay.
That's fair. And that was just because you were upset about Captain Insano.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Ina's off, and she heads off to see Salem.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, after all these years of playing it smart, keeping my mouth shut about the dogs, I blabbed to Salem because he's interested in me. God, how stupid am I? I was so lonely. So she's starting to realize maybe she's being gaslit a little bit.
A little bit. How long has she known this guy for? I mean, that's the other question.
Well, she knew him at the lab, right?
Yeah,
the original lab. So, but that's you're still stuck on. You're still stuck on this. You were obsessing over. I get it. Yeah. So you're still saying we don't know the time lapse between her getting the dogs, them working together in the lab, and now.
Yeah.
You're wanting that time lapse. That's fair.
I'm wanting the time frames.
Well, as we continue to build the mystery, maybe we'll find out. So
I don't think we do.
Well, we get a comment. We only have 3 of the issues, so maybe we'll find out. I don't know. But we find out Salem's been developing the next generation CAR T therapy. I call it All Cure. Because apparently, if it's called All Cure, it cures everything.
Oh, yeah. It's a one and done. Boom. Get it. Got it good. Everybody's cured.
But he says, instead of just bioengineering a sample of the blood cells to kill the cancer cells, my weaponized cells continually divide until the body is filled with my super cells. No virus or disease has a chance against my supercells. Okay.
So reverse
maybe
cancer.
that has something to do with the dogs?
But also reverse cancer, because that's exactly what cancer does.
Right.
It continues to multiply until your
So you still have cancer. It's just good cancer instead of bad cancer.
Bad, though. I mean,
I want a bunch of supercells so I can be super.
I don't know though. Does it work that way?
Well, these biceps tell you. Oh, yeah.
No, no one can see them, Dan. No one can see them.
Oh yeah, we're not on camera.
We're
I can't show off right now.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
you could try.
He's expressing his concern. He says, in 97% of our in vitro samples, the weaponized cells kill off the healthy cells at a rate too rapid to sustain life. So you are right. It's just trading one cancer for another, it looks like.
So he's making a bad...
Yeah. So, and this was another flashback scene, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is another flashback scene, technically, because...
Yeah, because he doesn't have the beard.
He doesn't have the beard. But it doesn't tell us that this flashback scene.
But she's got the short hair.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm with you. I do see how this is a little confusing now. I kind of wasn't sold on the first one because we've got Puppy Buck and the long hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. Okay. Yeah. I could see I was a little bit confusing. I think when I read through, I just thought I thought it was, that is interesting. I might, maybe I'll reach out and ask because I'm sort of interested. When I read through it, I thought it was when they were working at the lab together originally.
Yeah, I don't think they actually worked at the same. They worked at the lab together. Then this is me.
Well, the first time, they worked together. Yeah, he said that in the story before.
Yeah, okay. They worked together. And then she gets this job. This is how she meets him, but we don't know the time frame. Obviously, it's like however long it takes for him to grow a beard.
Well, the beard also didn't he grow the beard between?
Oh my gosh, he was a good guy. He was a good guy before he shaved. When he was clean shaven, and then he grew a beard, he became a bad guy.
That's fair.
Just like in wrestling, he went from a baby face. Oh my gosh.
No, I don't think that's true because he didn't have the beard when he first met Buck, and he grew the beard after his fingers were bit off. So Buck created Lex Luthor. Never
Holy mind. Crap.
Right. Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh man. Buck.
Well, he is a bad guy.
He's a bad guy. Yeah.
Well, anyway, he introduces Ina to Monto, and he says Monto is dying of cancer, and he says it's in his liver, stomach, everywhere. The vet said he could go anytime. Ooh. So he's building sympathy with the dog that eats people.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that. She just knows that he's got a sick dog.
Well, and this guy is a master manipulator. He's building on her desire to help people, the work they did in the lab before. Mm-hmm. He's building on her love of puppies. Not cool.
Yeah, he's a bad dude.
But I do like how he sort of sets the story too. I mean, she's sort of figuring it out, but he still keeps trying. And he says, "I'm desperate here, Ina. Wouldn't you do anything you could, no matter how slim odds, to save Buck's life?" And she says, "I've spent most of my life keeping my dogs safe, making sure their powers don't get in the wrong hands." And he says, "You don't trust old Stubby." So now I'm interested too. I'm wondering, maybe you're right. Like maybe he was a good guy until his dog got cancer and then he wanted the cure to save his life, but then he got power hungry.
Maybe.
I mean, that could be the story. Or does
his dog actually have cancer?
Well, that's what I'm saying. His dog had cancer, and then he took Cyrus's blood and injected Monto with it and made him Super Monto.
Or was he Super Monto before, and his dog never really had cancer? He just wants to make more dogs that are super.
I don't know, but we better move on because we'll never get through these books if we don't. But you're right. We don't know because it's a mystery, and we don't know. We're speculating.
I know,
and I'm definitely not Hercule Poirot. So.
You're not? I thought you were.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. But you could.
So, well, he makes one more play at Ina, and then Monte says, "I don't like her." And Salem's like, "You don't want to destroy her, don't you?" And he said, "Yes, and the dog that bit you." And he says, "All in good time."
No.
He's not a good guy.
He's a bad dude.
I think he was bad before.
So,
well, Ina goes home.
Make him an alpha dog?
Well, the alpha dog in real life was a pretty bad guy. So, yeah.
Oh, rough.
Well, this is totally uncool. So Ina goes home now and calls him Bucky Boo and now wants to take his blood.
Oh no. She called me
and
back.
she takes blood from both the dogs.
Yeah.
And they're both all tired out on the floor because they had their blood
Taken.
And
That's
Buck's like, I'm so weak. And Cyrus, the experienced one, says, we'll get our strength back soon, but she'll bleed us again if Salem tells her to. And Buck's like, why is she doing this? She loves us. And Cyrus like, she loves you. Humans are selfish. They always choose their own happiness over the ones that depend on them the most.
Yep.
Ouch. Gut punch. Okay. Now we're back, and I'm not sure who this is, but she's saying, of all the assignments I get stuck with here, who did I piss off? And her friends, don't bitch. I've been at this for 4 years. You're practically a rookie compared to me. And she says, I just don't see. She's like, I think I found her. Ah, yeah, right. You need a break. She's like, how old is that image? She says, 19 months ago. It's from a security camera at Gas and Go in Greensboro, North Carolina. They print it out and they're going to bring it to the boss. So it looks like these guys are looking for Ina. And they're like, Ina's returned to America. Good for her. I can't wait to see the look on her face. Okay. So we know Ina was somewhere else with huts.
Yep.
All right. On an island.
I'm gonna say this is where
okay.
When they cut to this page where we have Red looking at the computer screen, tap tap tap, maybe just up in the corner, if it just said elsewhere, someone.
Yeah, I like it because it says when I showed up on her doorstep, but yeah, like in elsewhere. Oh, I see. Yeah, like in the
where she's like, of all the assignments I get, of all the assignments stuck to get here, who did I piss off? And up in the corner of
like
that
up
panel,
where the computer monitor is, or in the other corner, it just says elsewhere.
Okay.
To guide us along.
Yes.
I do like the last 3 pages, though. I mean, I'm with you. The elsewhere would have helped. It did throw me off for a second, but I'm now intrigued. I'm like, so what are we up to now? We're through 2 issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know if Monto really had cancer. Yeah. I want to know how he got his powers. I want to know if Salem was ever actually a good guy. I want to know where this island is. I want to know how these people got here.
Well, just Google
I want to know how the dogs got their power. I want to know how Ina found out they got their power.
Yeah.
We still don't know about Cyrus. You pointed that out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of threads going on here. This is fun.
Yeah. You know what I'm thinking? If Ina is the keeper of the dogs, she's the alpha dog.
Yeah. Ooh. So the book's called Alpha Dog after Ina.
Yeah. Alpha dogs. So she's like the pack leader. Whoa.
So I will say this before we go on to book 3, which we're about to do.
Yeah.
How much better is this than the Teen Titans drug issues?
Oh, much better. Much better.
Is this not the ultimate palate cleanser right here?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely a much better, a much more. It's way gooder, as the kids say.
It's way gooder.
Way gooder.
And it's still technically about drugs.
Yeah, it's about drugs. It's about drug manufacturing.
So we're in our theme.
Got a lot of references to stuff, meth, dope, all that, and then, it's got you wondering. It's always got you wondering where they at, when they at, who they are, who's the alpha dog.
Yeah. Well, let's, I don't know. That was a alpha monologue from Greg right there.
Exactly. That's what I like to do sometimes.
I'm honestly not sure what you just said during that last minute or so, but I'm just going to roll with it. I mean, there's no way I'm deleting it, and it's pretty amazing. I mean, I have my monologues throughout these podcasts.
It's what the listeners want. Fantastic. It's what the listeners need.
It's what listeners crave.
Yeah. I just gave them electrolytes. Yes. Brondo. I gave them the Brondo, verbal Brondo, for their ears and their souls.
Well, we are at issue 3.
I have to say, before we go on, some people want accolades, some people want acolytes, but everyone needs electrolytes. Brondo. It's what they crave.
It's what plants crave. Well, we're at issue 3. We've got Monto looking like he's going to eat Buck.
Yeah. It's looking pretty grim.
We got Cyrus and Ina in the background and a full moon. Apparently, Monto comes out with a full moon.
Woo!
We've got issue 3
like Monto's a werewolf. I got it.
A were something.
A
I don't know if you're aware.
Were-dog?
He goes from a dog to a wolf.
Wouldn't that be an interesting concept? If you were a dog bitten by a werewolf and you turned into a were-dog. So you're just a regular dog by day and a werewolf by the full moon.
Well, we've got written by John Dexter, illustrated by Fernando Melek, colored by Lucas Orueta, breakdowns and lettering by Lucas Urrutia. Lucas is, I'm sorry, once again. Cover art by Fernando Melek, Ezequiel Dominguez, and title art by Lucas Urrutia. So cool. And Alpha Dog's created by John Dexter. And now we have a copyright. So yay. By Kickstarter 3, we got a copyright down there. Unless I just missed it before.
I think you missed out on the last one, but on the first one, there wasn't one. On the second one, I believe there was one. And now we know that if you get bitten by a werewolf and you're a dog, you become a were-dog.
Well, we've got people with guns.
People with guns. Good Lord.
And they're securing the back door in tactical gear, of course. Yeah. And they bust into this guy's house who is high as a kite.
I find it so they're in tactical gear, but they got the ever so like the ever so accurate AK-47. I mean, the gun works, but
well, anyway, they break in, demand to see this guy's pit bulls. This guy's really high on the couch. He's like, I don't have any pit bulls.
Oh, got no dog. What's up, dog?
And he's like,
I would have died. That was the line.
He's like, I don't know an Ina. I rent this place from Jeb Bosch. And he's like, gets done. Hey, everything gets knocked over. He's like, so are we cool? And he's like, yeah, we're cool. And then they kill him.
Well, because he had white dog hair all over his furniture, and it's like a cop that sticks out at a concert. And
I just sort of think that this guy wouldn't have actually remembered what was happening, or maybe his pot was laced with angel dust.
Oh, maybe.
No, because then he would have had superhuman strength and would have taken out all these guys.
Yeah. Nah, when
we learned that from 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
In 1978.
Yeah. It makes you got the superpowers. Makes you Superman. Wait, what?
Well, now we've got Buck, and he's carrying some meat out to some little kitties.
Yeah, itty bitty kitties. They're so tiny.
I will say, I really like how I like how John Dexter is pulling how, as we've read these, you go from these really dark moments to these really light moments. I like how he weaves those.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not just like a slog, right? It's just not like sadness. It's like, oh, there's Buck and he's helping little kittens. And Cyrus is going to, of course, make fun of him for helping the kittens, right? Because they're pit bulls.
Look at his coloring on his chest, though, dude.
That's pretty cool.
It is crazy.
Did you know?
Super, man.
Do you know why Ace the Bat Hound has a mask?
Why?
Well, because Batman
has a mask.
Found Ace the Bat Hound.
Yeah.
And Ace the Bat Hound became Bruce Wayne's friend while they were looking for his master who had been kidnapped. And then Ace the Bat Hound had a star marking on his face. So Bruce Wayne thought if Ace the Bat Hound was helping him track down the bad guy, that people would recognize that the dog had a star on his face, and it was be both Bruce Wayne's dog and Batman's dog. And thus they would think that Bruce Wayne was Batman. So his solution was to put a mask on the dog.
It's a pretty good way to cover it up.
Yeah, because...
But wait, they were looking for this dog's master. And
the 50s were fantastic.
And then Bruce Wayne basically, he's like, I found you, but yoinks, I got a dog now.
Look, I can't explain. I'm not going to tell all of the Ace the Bat Hound story today. I'm just letting you know that that's the beginning.
Is it like they find Ace the Bat Hound's master, and he's like, the price for finding you is this dog. And
sure.
Ace is like,
and he gets to keep him.
Yeah.
I mean,
or
that I don't know if that explains Bat Cow, but
it was a recovery. It wasn't a rescue.
Well, anyway, we're back to the story.
Sorry. Oh, jeez. It got dark again. Yeah, he's playing nursemaid to some kittens.
Yeah. Oh, Salem's back.
Oh,
I don't like this guy.
Nah, he's a jerk.
You know, he starts looking more and more evil as we go.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I like how the art devolves him.
Yeah,
Something is going. Do you think he like shot himself with this stuff?
Maybe. I don't know. He might have. He wants to become the alpha dog.
But he's continuing to play her, right? He says, what's he doing here? Okay. The dogs, that's what Buck says. And then we flash to him talking to Ina. He says, my parents were hit head on. The doctor said it's touch and go, but I must go to them. In Ann Arbor? No, Baghdad. They were visiting family. My mother is Iraqi. I know you told me how long do you think you'll be gone? However long it takes for them to recover and return home. So he is disappearing.
Yep, he's going to disappear.
Okay. So he's off to Iraq, supposedly.
Mm-hmm. He's gone. He's sneaking away.
And the dogs have it figured out. Buck's like, why does he want our blood? And Cyrus is like, what do all men want from us? They want their power. So
yeah.
Cyrus, it's like Cyrus is the sage here and has this all figured out. I don't know why Cyrus isn't doing anything.
He should be doing something, but he tells me he's got to bite off more than his finger.
Okay, now is where I'm going to try not to cry. So,
okay,
we've got.
Oh yeah, this is.
They're going to try this out on these adorable
dogs. Yeah, all the
puppies,
all the poochies.
Sisters.
Yeah,
they've got 2 spaniels, and as you know, our mentor had spaniels.
Yeah. Before
Goldens, and then an obnoxious spaniel later. But
yeah, oh man, that one was a crazy one.
But yeah, yeah. So John, the author, we love this book so far, but I know you probably did this on purpose. But yeah, this one hurt me a little bit. They're like, don't get attached to the dogs. I also have a friend that's done platelet research on dogs and ended up adopting one of the beagles that they did research on.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's interesting. I don't know how I feel about dog research.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't feel good about animal research at all. And I know it's necessary, but yeah, this sucks. I mean, it's a great part of the story. So I'm not saying the story sucks. I'm just saying this sucks.
Yeah.
Because they try it on one of the 2 spaniels, and the
spaniel, one of the sisters does not make
it. And her blue little handkerchief goes off, and then the red one does, and they try it and looks really sad and freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but our Skullet guy gives her sister's blue handkerchief. So that was sweet.
He's like a bad guy, but
he's a good guy.
He's a good bad guy.
I just don't think he's very smart, but
yeah, he's not very smart.
And then we get so it looks like we have a Chihuahua. And says, hey, do you know what your power is yet? And she says, the spaniel says, you're saying words.
Like, words.
And the Chihuahua says, yes. And so are you. We have our own language. You might say, I mean, we always have, but now with a richer vocabulary. My name is Tomko. And she says, you say words I do not know. And he says, that's because, in fact, my enhanced ability is intelligence. So we have Brainiac Dog.
Yeah. Oh, enhanced intelligence dog.
Or Luther Dog, or I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to go with Brainiac Dog, but I like Tomko. Tomko's a nice name.
I want to go home, Tomko. I'm scared, Tomko.
I don't blame her. I'd be scared too.
Yeah.
Injecting me with stuff. And then we get 2 others from the truck. Some huskies. Mm-hmm. Are they? I don't know. They weren't in the truck, but we get some huskies.
Yeah, some huskies.
And
they got a lot of dogs.
Yeah, well, they're experimenting on all these dogs because they're assholes.
And each dog has a different power to unlock. They're like
Wesley,
Pokemons.
talk to me. You've been sleeping all day and night. This is all your fault. I wanted to stay home, but you made me run away with you, and their owner was beating them. This is very sad.
Yeah.
And so he apologizes, but his brother can no longer see. So, and they've got Salem, come quick. We've got another mutate. So not being able to see is the issue, but these 2 both can talk. So both of them got the serum, right?
Yeah, they got the serum. But...
Well, Ina's looks like we've got, we're at next gen. So Ina's going in.
Yeah.
It says, what are you doing? What's it look like? They've fired Salem. Fired. He gave his resignation this morning and quit. It's like, not me, probably called HR. Yeah, I am with you. This is a little bit confusing too. I'm not sure if this is a flashback or if this is now. So
I know.
I'm with you 100% now.
I think a little thing up in the corner. I think this is happening later that week, I'm going to say, like, just up in the corner of panel 1 on page 12, we just have later that week.
Or when it was.
Yeah.
But it looks like then we've got an explanation of what's happening. Myeloid cells are the key weapon in fighting off pathogens from invading the immune system. However, our sly enemy, Mr. Cancer Cell here, can trick myeloid cells to believing they are in fact healthy cells. And then explaining all this to Ina, who looks very bored because I don't think she needs this explained to her.
Is she? And this also makes me wonder, is like, is this a teaching laboratory? Is this a college? Is this a, so
yep,
weird.
Not sure.
I don't understand I don't understand. I mean, I get it, but it looks like a classroom to me.
However, the one thing I will say, and I do think like the timestamps would help, but I do think some of this is intentionally vague because it's part of the mystery. So don't spoil the mystery by asking for too much.
I know. I think.
Well, they go back.
I do find it interesting as like the dialogue, reading through this dialogue. It's each panel where the doctor that's explaining the cancer mutations and the cells dividing and growing and stuff like that. It's almost like she's coming to a realization in each panel, like, oh my gosh, I have been gaslit.
Yeah. Well, and so it must be now, right? So maybe that's why we didn't have a timestamp, because she goes home in the same outfit, same haircut, and goes and gets her dogs.
I just think maybe like if it's supposed to be like, 3 weeks has gone by, it should just say 3 weeks later. 3 weeks later.
So it's interesting. We've got the dogs are in. She takes them. She's leaving. She's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets to a fence and said, "Oh my God, what did I do?" And it's a compound. And the dogs help her sneak in. So she tells them to help them get through she says, "You two get us through the fence." So they do. And they sneak in. And she said, "Don't just stand there, hide." And there's Monto looking at them. And he's probably the best security because he is got those red eyes and is ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So now they've got security lights and barking, and Buck looks pretty scared. But Buck's going to go grab and open the door for him so they can get... Buck hears some other dogs barking, goes and open the doors, and there goes Tomko, leaving immediately.
Yeah, like, gone, out.
Cyrus is like, "Is that a Chihuahua?" And here goes Monto after the Chihuahua, and Buck dives in the way and says, "Leave him alone," and stands over him.
Is it Monto or is it a different dog? Because Monto looked bigger in the other pictures. This dog looks like small.
That's true. Monto did look bigger, and this one has red eyes. Yeah, it's not Monto. You're right. I don't know who this is.
This dog looks different. Yeah,
you're right. It's not Monto. It's the red-eyed dog from the cover. So
the werewolf.
They say the Doberman's been clocked at 86. Okay, so it's a Doberman. We just got to listen to Tomko. He's a smart one. He's going to tell us what's going on.
It's a Doberman without his ears clipped. Okay, got it. And a tail. Got it. Okay.
86 miles an hour. Jeez. So he's attacking him like he's the Flash.
Uh-huh.
Except biting him instead of punching him.
Yeah.
And, a 3 to me, so he calls him. Okay. The Doberman's a mindless killer, but it's not that stupid. And here we have Salem. He says, "Yeah, there's Monto." Okay.
Yeah.
"What do you think of my creations?" And we've got a Skullet guy holding a gun, shaking, and we've got the other henchman there with the green shirt. And she's like, "What's wrong with his eyes?" And he's like, "It's a side effect of the serum. It's only affected only 2 of my dogs. The mutations also altered their personalities and made them violent. My theory is it's something to do with the dog's powers activating in the pineal gland." And he says, "You don't know." I wish I knew anatomy so I could read the comic book. "You didn't know that, did you? Haha." And she's just basically like, "Why are you doing this?" And now he's going to give his evil plot, right? We're ready.
Yes.
We've been working to this for 3 issues.
Yeah.
You planned it. It was no coincidence you were hired into my lab. Not me, the universe, or God. Call it what you like, but it's been granted retribution. Retribution for what? For the crimes against my family. And I have you, Ina, to thank for setting my plan in motion. Don't thank me yet. I think I loved you. Oh, to think I love you. Sorry. I was about to say, I think I love you.
I think I love you. To think I love you.
Even if it'll kill me, it won't stop my men here from taking your dogs and finishing what I've started. Monto, show I know what you can do. And he says, yes. He's like, let me have her. And Buck rushes Monto. He taunts him, come here, little doggy. And they shoot Buck and he falls and he looks very dead.
Yeah.
The good news is we know he's not going to die because we saw him in the first issue and he was alive.
Yeah.
So this makes me feel a little bit better. As long as I was still Buck, and based on the face markings, it's got to be. So I'm not super sad right now, but I'm not really happy with people shooting dogs because that sucks.
Right.
Okay. And Salem's basically saying he has all he needs. He's going to have blood forever. And now we're back to the guy that owns the apartment. We're back to the tactical military guys.
Yeah.
As the cliffhanger. And he's like, I've told you everything. And she works at a company called Next Gen, and that's where they're headed. So Salem's quit Next Gen. The other bad guys are headed to Next Gen, but we don't even know if they're bad guys. Maybe they're trying to help her, but they seem to, they shoot people. So they're probably bad guys.
Yeah, they're probably bad guys. Yeah, bad guys.
And then we get puppy pictures.
Oh, okay, good. Ends on a happy note.
We get doggo pictures.
Are these good dogs or bad dogs?
I think they're all good dogs because you know how he said he's balanced. I don't think they're alpha dogs, and you know how he's balanced the sadness with happiness. So I feel like he had to put the happy puppies at the end of this because it was a lot at the end of the story of issue 3.
That's true.
But I do want to get to issue 4 to find out what happens because we know Buck's alive, but right now he doesn't look very alive.
He does not. And they're going to bleed him and drain him and drain him and bleed him and take his blood like a vampire.
And we've got these paramilitary guys trying to get the dogs, and we've got Salem trying to get the dogs, and we don't know what wrongs have happened to his family or why he became such an asshole. So,
and who was on the island, and where did Ina do?
The island. Yeah, we're back to issue 2. I don't know what's going on off the island.
Where did Cyrus come from? What was
John
Buck's
Dexter?
purpose?
Give me issue 4, please. As soon as possible.
But also put headings in your pages to direct people like me.
You are really upset about these headings. So.
It's my own personal preference. Other people might not care, and it's just me. But the reason why I either like them in books because they give me direction and they let me know what's going on, where the action is happening, when it's happening, and who is it happening to or with at what point in time.
That's fair.
Those are important things to me. I've gotten these types of notes from editors in the past in my own writing and had to make these changes in pages and panels to create that type of subtext to those things to make it understandable for readers. So it's one of those things that if I notice it, even though
you just keep seeing it
bother me, it does. And it bothers me more so when you do it once and then you don't continue to do it through the rest of your series. So we saw it in book 1 in the beginning, but then we stopped seeing it midway through and the rest of the
and I'm kind of with you too. There were a couple scenes that were flash scenes to somewhere else, but I didn't know if they were in the same time period because we start with a flashback. So overall, how'd you like the story?
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. I find it very enjoyable, very fun. It's got, like you said, it has its light moments, it has its dark moments. It's got characters that you like, i.e. the dogs, characters that you don't like, i.e. Salem and some of the other dogs and the paramilitary people. And even though Ina's doing her best job, I'm not sure if I like her that much.
Yeah, and I like it too. I think it was a fun book, and I probably give it 4 paws out of 5. 4 Juliet paws out of 5 far.
Most dogs only have 4 paws. Jeez. So where's that 5th paw come from? Oh, Dan.
That's a good question. So maybe I should give it 3.5 paws out of 4. But I like it a lot. Juliet heard her name too, and she perked up. She's like, "Hey, does that mean you're done podcasting?" And it probably does mean we're about done podcasting.
Is it because in your house you're the alpha dog?
I guess that makes me the alpha dog in the house. I don't think I am, but that's not a discussion I want to have on this call. So with that said, hey, we love this book or we love these 3 books, and hey, there's going to be another one on Kickstarter soon. So keep watching Kickstarter for John Dexter and Alpha Dogs number 4. Yeah.
And if you like Alpha Dogs, go to Kickstarter, put a little save on there for Alpha Dogs, and go, and when that pops on you, go and back it jump on it right away. I know that's something we're going to most likely do, as we are pretty invested. Damn you, Dan. Damn you.
Yep. Well, we'll have to review it again.
Yeah.
So, well,
I
on
need to
that
know what
note,
happens in number 4.
on that note, I think it's time to wrap it up, because I can see a roommate getting home, and I'm anticipating some barking entering our podcast very soon if we don't get off this podcast.
That's what happens on a dog podcast.
Dogs are real life. And
dogs
so
in real life.
Somebody's is already really irritated because they've been locked in the room, and they're going to be really irritated in a minute. So,
yeah. All right. Well, till then.
And on cue, there she goes. Until then, we'll be back with you next time on another episode of Funny Book Forensics.